Hi, welcome to this tutorial series on Spring IOC. So in my last couple of video I have explained about the dependency injections and brief introduction about the Spring and different modules of the Spring chain, and also I had covered the setter injection also. So in this video I am going to cover constructor injection. So this is the demo project that I had created. So here we have this project class, and we have a test class also. So I'm using the bean factory to get the objects from the XML file. So here we have the spring.xml file configured here. So here I have one project bean. So project bean have two property, project ID and project name. So using setter injection I am able to inject those properties. So I have created the setter method for these two properties, and and the setter injection is working fine. And now I'm going to explain the constructor injection. So the constructor injection is the second type of injection that we need that we generally use for the to inject the property of a class. So here, as you see, I'm using property tag to inject the properties of a class using setter injection. So same way we have to use constructor arg to inject the property using constructor injection. So let's create some more properties for constructor injection. Let's create a property string domain, project domain, and create a property string project type. And let's create a constructor here, the public constructor. So let's pass the domain here, and this domain equal to domain. So we have created the constructor for domain. So in the constructor arg we need to use the constructor arg to inject this constructor. So here for the constructor arg we have a value, so we need to provide the value. So domain we can provide as telecom domain. And that's it. So let's print the domain also in our toString method. Should be project domain. Um, domain. Okay. So now we can test it. We have the factory, Win factory, and we have the object already created for the project class. So we are using getBean method to get the object. So now we can test it. Yeah, so domain is provided to using this constructor injection. So our constructor injection is working. So let's create some more properties here. We have two properties right now. So let's create one more constructor that where we can pass the two parameters. So here provide the project type. So now we have one more constructor where we are passing two parameters. So here we have only one parameter. So so if we use one more statement here, since we have two parameters constructor, so we have to use one more constructor arg statement. So there what we are passing is we are passing project type. Okay, so let's keep long-term project. Okay, so now we can run it, but before that we need to modify the toString method for project type. So it should be project type project type. Okay, okay, so now we can run it. So our project type is also getting executed. So it means the constructor is that the constructor just now we have created, so this is also getting executed. So if we remove this constructor, still we will be able to get the properties values. So as you see, domain is getting passed and project type is also getting passed. So it means this constructor is getting executed while we are passing the two parameters. So so this is the way constructor injection works. But there are some more properties that we have to use in case of the constructor injection. So we have type property, we have so type properties is used generally when we have different type of object properties. For example, let's say we have one more property here, project sequence. So it's an integer value. So let's say we have two constructor. So let's say one is we are providing value for the domain, and other we are providing for the project sequence. So it should be int. So in this case there may be the problem of the ambiguity. So because we have two constructor with one parameter with different type, so in that scenario we need to use type tag. So type we have to provide the particular constructor if we are going to execute. So if we use integer, so the constructor which have integer parameter will be executed. So let's test it. Okay, let's see. I think there is fail to convert value into string. Okay, let's check it. Oops, it should be integer value. Okay, so think the value is the constructor is getting executed, but we have not printed the value here. So let's print it here also. Let's check it. Scalar sequence. Okay, so let's test it again. So the sequence value is getting executed. Okay, so now we can pass the string value and we can execute the constructor. We have a string parameter. So that purpose we need to use the because so if because if we see this constructor here we are passing the domain, so we are passing the string class. So we need to give the class. So here we need to telecom. Okay, now we can test it. Yeah, so domain is getting passed. Okay, so now we have one more tag, that is index. So if we have a constructor with more than one parameters, so and then we want to execute that constructor. So let's say we have one more constructor here with three parameters. There we are passing domain, and we are also passing the project type. So if we want to execute constructor like this, so we have one more, we can use the index for. So here if we use the index, so index, let's say we have three parameter for this constructor, so can use index like this. So for first parameter that we are passing is we are passing sequence, then domain, then project type. Okay, so here let's say sequence is 11 and long term project, and domain is fine. Then the second parameter is domain. Okay, let's replace it. Okay, so now we can test it. Okay, so the sequence is coming, project type is coming, and domain is also coming. So this constructor is getting executed successfully. So these are the some of the properties of constructor that we have to use. The index and type we have to generally follow to avoid the ambiguity problem of different constructor that we use in our classes. So that's all about the constructor injection, and in my other video I will be continuing on other concept of the Spring IOC. So thanks for watching. See you in next video. Bye bye.